Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Network Chuck. Yeah, cringe AF. That's what I got when I talked about becoming an ethical hacker. By the way, what are you drinking tonight? Get your coffee, get your rum, get your bourbon. I don't care what you're drinking. Let's do this. So I posted my last video. I wanted to talk about becoming an ethical hacker. And, I said becoming a hacker, I put the anonymous mask on. Like, that's what people look for. That's what all the kids are looking for, right? And that's what's associated with it. And I get it. That's a cringy factor. But that's how people associate it. That's the only reason I did that. That aside, I have to admit, I'm excited about becoming a hacker or thinking about becoming one, but also I'm kind of intimidated, scared, kind of like, can I really do this? Because there's a lot involved, and I'm not like, I know there's a lot involved. I know there's a lot of things you have to learn. So I'm not like, oh, I just decided like I'm gonna wake up one day, become an ethical hacker, put the hat on, and all of a sudden I'm doing it. No. I'm coming from the perspective of being a network engineer. Being a systems engineer. I've managed systems, Windows, not really Linux so much, but I've dealt with it in production. So I've been on that side of things. I want to see what it's like to go that direction. Someone said gray hat maybe. I want to see how possible it is for someone. Like, I know it's possible for anyone to do anything. Yes, I'm on that team, right? But I want to see what it actually looks like for someone like myself with my skill set, which is a lot of you guys, like starting from the help desk, getting some really advanced networking skills or system administration skills or getting to the cloud or whatever skill set you have. I want to see what it looks like to go that route, to become an ethical hacker, because I did get a lot of comments on this, and I agree with it. And I know this fool going in to become a hacker, your skill set is like this long. It's crazy because you have to know, to be able to hack a system, you have to know how that system works. You have to know how to poke holes into it. You have to know where those holes might be. Anyways, you have to know a lot. And I think it'd be really neat to see how you could become a hacker coming from that perspective. And that's what I'm going in. Like, I'm coming in fully aware that I am a noob, total noob. I get that. I want to document that process. I want to walk you through that process. I want to test out the certifications, like hacking certifications. There are some. There are some very reputable ones. And I'll go through questions here in a bit. Don't worry. I can't wait to hang out with you guys. I was supposed to have my live stream on Monday. Didn't do it. Kind of like burnt out. I was actually thinking about this, but I wanted to come on tonight and talk about it because I'm feeling kind of good. I wanted to vent a bit because I get it. My last video, yes, I'll admit, was a bit cringy. But anyways, talking about the certifications, I want to be your test for this. I want to go and get the CEH and say, okay, is the CEH actually good for a hacker? I want to go and get Pen Test Plus from CompTIA, which I know I got a ton of comments on this about the right to repair. I'll talk about that here in a second. Honestly, I haven't looked into it too much, but I'll give my 2 cents here in a bit. I know a lot of the bigger YouTubers than myself out there have already talked about it a bit. Louis Rossman's been doing some great stuff for it. Let's talk about it here in a moment. But there's CEH, Pentester Plus. I definitely want to try, and I'm kind of scared, to be honest. I want to do the OSCP. I know it's the offensive part. I know there's so, like, when I say I want to become a hacker, that's like saying I want to get in IT a little bit. There's so much involved, and I'm fully aware of that. And my goal with this is just to explore that. I think it's a really cool world. There's a video that was posted like by CNBC or somebody like 2 weeks ago talking about how hacking is becoming more of a, I mean, it's already been that way, but mainstream, it's becoming more of a career for people now, becoming an ethical hacker. It's not just, I mean, there's been for a while the job of being a pen tester, penetration testing. Like that's one thing. But now companies are paying people. And they're giving bounties to people to hack their systems and find vulnerabilities before bad people do. Like, this is a real thing. This is an actual business. So I want to explore that part. Now, I know there's people who talk about that already. I want to join them in that. I want to see what it takes to become like that. Bug bounty is what it's called, right? There's a bunch of guys out there who do it, and they're great at it. I want to see what it takes. There's also the whole term of red teaming, be on the offensive, and blue teaming, be on the defensive of hacking. I want to explore all of that, capture the flag stuff, CTF. I want to explore that, and I want to take you with me on that. I'm fully aware it's going to be difficult. I'm fully aware that overnight I will not become a hacker. I'm fully aware that even within a year, I may not be an accomplished anything, really. I want to start down the steps. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. People complain about the sipping, so I'm going to sip over here. Hope you didn't hear that. Anyways, so that's what I want to do. I want to explore that realm because it's always, like, I think it's interested everybody, right? Like, to a degree. So I both want to explore the coolness of it. Also kind of myth bust a few of the things that don't make sense. Like, hackers, is it really like that? Like, you see on all those TV shows and you got things flashing across the screen. Is it really like that? Is it fun? Coming from a network admin or system admin background, is it going to be fun for you? We'll explore that. What's also cool, though, and just to kind of, tell you the guidance of my channel this year, I talked about the 5 top skills in IT, and I didn't specify what the certifications were. I just mentioned skills. If you got these skills and applied it to any area in IT, they would be just killer. Some of the ones I mentioned that I'm going to go hard on this year, Linux. That's my first thing, and I talked about it in my last video. By the way, if you haven't already entered the contest to win the Linux Plus training from CompTIA, you should go do that. But I'm talking about Linux a lot this year. I want to master Linux. I want to look at Python, like cloud. But the cool thing is all those skills can be applied to any of those areas. So hacking, it can be applied to hacking. Network engineering, all those skills can be applied to network engineering. Systems engineering, the cloud, all of those skills, when you apply it to those areas, make you a boss. It just happens. It just does. And so to kind of inform you what I'm doing as I'm learning these skills, as I'm going on the journey of hacking, I'm going to be teaching you Linux. I'll be talking about Linux. I'm going to put Linux videos on here. I will be doing all of that. And I'll be saying, okay, Linux is great for hacking, so learn it this way. But I'll also be showing you what it looks like to use it for as a system admin or a network engineer, because it all applies. So as I'm taking you on the journey of me becoming an ethical hacker, I'm picking up skills and teaching skills that apply to everywhere. So I'm so oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this, because this is where IT is going. This is where IT is going. Learning these other skills, certifications are great. They're fantastic, but they're slow. They're slow. They can't rev fast enough. The skills are changing so quickly. That's why Cisco changed their certification, their whole platform, where they're trying to rev every year. Microsoft and AWS are all doing the same thing. They're trying to rev more often. Jumping Jack, thank you for the super chat. That's a massive super chat, sir. Thank you. I'll answer your question real quick. He says, I'm going to college to get my computer science to become a pen tester. I don't come from a fortunate family, and the only thing holding me back is money. What certification would you recommend to start saving money while going? Honestly, it's tough to say that right now, because I'm still looking at this. I hear great things about the CEH. Now, I mentioned in my previous video, and maybe on a live stream, where the CEH, the Certified Ethical Hacker, really isn't like the gold standard according to hackers, but man, it has a pretty good industry label. It has a good name. As far as, like, if you want to get a job at the Department of Defense, the DoD, here in the U.S., that satisfies a ton of government clearances. So, well, a ton. I mean, I say it definitely does some things. I don't know the details. I'll talk about it later, actually. But yeah, that's what I would go for. I will be making videos more about this, like what are the next steps, what are the easiest paths to go down, because again, I'm just getting started in this journey, and the reason I wanted to talk about all of this is just because it felt weird to me to make that video and then kind of not fully explain like what my mentality was. Obviously, I'm into hacking a little bit because I've made videos about it where I hacked Starbucks, where I've hacked, I didn't hack Starbucks. I hacked Wi-Fi while I was at Starbucks. I didn't actually hack the company. I didn't take down their systems. I just hacked. I took advantage of the atmosphere of free Wi-Fi. That's all I did. Just in case any lawyers are watching. And I've done some stuff with Raspberry Pis, and so I want to do more of that, and I want to take it a step further. I want to, I guess, certify those skill sets and show you what that path looks like. I also want to attend some conferences. I want to go to Black Hat. I want to go to, there's another one, right? I can't remember what it is right now. And I also want to explore what the jobs are like. So I'm not going to become a professional hacker. I teach. That's what I do. I'm on here on YouTube. I work for CBT Nuggets. I produce content. This is what I love doing, hanging out with you guys and showing you the paths. And I feel like this is probably a really cool path to figure out. That's the main reason I'm doing this. I think becoming a hacker is such a cool thing to do now. And it's a skill set that if you find out you hate it, dude, jump to the next thing because you already have an amazing skill set. You can do whatever you want. So this is just a fun thing. It's popular. It's exciting. I want to talk to people who maybe are hackers who do bug bounties. I want to talk with them about that. I want to talk with companies who do penetration testing. I want to talk with everyone to see what it's like. Maybe shadow them on a day or whatever. So if you know people or if you are people that do this, let me know. I would love to talk with you and explore those possibilities. And by the way, Jumping Jack, if I did or did not answer your question, just comment and I'll address it or have someone else from my community address it. Because again, this is fairly new to me, so I'll do my best. We got a new member, Matt Mack. Welcome to the Unicorn community. Thank you for joining. Got another super chat from Nick Loacano. Got promoted to network engineer yesterday. That's amazing. Isn't that the best feeling to get to that point? Oh my gosh. What's your thoughts on how to go from CCNA routing and switching to CCNP security? I'll tell you this much. I have in my career, when I was mainly a routing and switching guy and collaboration guy, I was also doing a ton of security. I was messing with Cisco ASAs. I implemented Firepower, which is their new suite of firewall stuff. They're trying to be more like Palo Alto. Sorry, Cisco. Honestly, the crossover is really not too intense because you do learn security concepts throughout the CCNP routing and switching. So I think just you'll what's funny is you'll get into the CCNP security and there will be things that are overlapping, like, oh, that's a routing concept. Oh, that's a switching concept. Oh, port security. I know how to do that. But of course, there's going to be more. So my tip would be just go in there. You will go in there being more prepared for that than when you first started your studies in routing and switching, because you already have that great base, that great foundation in routing and switching. That going into security will be essential. It'll take work like anything else, but it won't be as daunting as it was when you first started out routing and switching. At least that was my experience, and I never got my CCNP security or anything like that, but I did buy a ton of books for CCNP security and use that practically in my job and how to prepare. Like, man, I had a whole I administered 300 ASAs in a site-to-site situation. It was so fun, but things are changing now. I mean, there's so many different things now going on. It's their security portfolio is crazy, and then now it's becoming more vendor neutral to where it's not just like a one Cisco shop. You might have to look at Palo Alto and the other security things. There's so many options out there, and then just becoming more security focused in the cloud too. That's a whole thing. So many paths, so many things to go down. It's so fun. I hope I answered your question. Matt Mack, thank you for the super chat. That's amazing, dude. He said, almost done training for CCNA. I took CCENT about a month ago and failed by a few points. That sucks, but man, it feels so good to know you were that close though, right? Because at that point you can say, I know the material. The test got me, right? You know the material. That's so cool. Would you recommend getting my CCNA before February 23rd or wait until after? Will there be more credibility with companies if you have the newer CCNA? That's tough because, from what I gather, you currently don't have the CCENT, and then you would have to go and get the ICND2. At this point in time, it's hard to judge. I think you could go for it and get it. I just think you're going to be really stressed out. It's going to be a huge time crunch for you. And to answer your question about will there be more credibility for the new CCNA? No, I don't think so, because there's no way to differentiate that right now. Recruiting firms aren't going to be able to go, looking for a CCNA 200-301. That's not a possible. They've never done that in the past, and they're not going to do it now. That's not what I'm expecting. I could be wrong, but I just know that I'm CCNA certified, and my CCNA was back. I don't know what version it was, but it's definitely not the version now. But when you search for CCNA on the job market, it's just CCNA. That's it. So I don't think it's going to matter. And especially the people who are going to hire you, they're not going to care so much about, did you take the new CCNA? Because I don't know how familiar they're going to be with the new concepts or what's on the new CCNA, what the differences are. That's all still very new. Even people who are interested in pursuing that new CCNA are still trying to figure that out. So the job market will catch up eventually. They're not there yet. So the new exciting stuff, automation, which I got to teach on the new CCNA at CBT Nugget, so definitely go check that out. I would be honored. But all that stuff is exciting. It's new, but not every company is even looking at that yet, or even embracing it, or even care about it. So just it's okay. So to answer the short answer to your question, I would say if you really want to pound it out and get it, try now. You do have enough time, especially if you already feel like you know the CSENP material. You just have to go in there and just get past those few points that you missed. But it is kind of a crunch time right now for IC and D2. So it's up to if you got a full-time job and you got a family and such, that might be hard. But if you have a lot of time, like if you're kind of more of a student and you have more free time to study, I would say go for it. But if you have other life constraints, don't stress yourself out. I would say wait for the new one. So much of the material you learned already will carry over. You'll be amazed that when you jump into the new CCNA material and be like, oh, I already know that, I already know that, I already know that. So all I really have to know is a few wireless things, a few security things, and then a few automation things, and I'm golden. So that's what I would say. Hope that answered your question. We got a super chat from, hello, Selena. It's been a while since I've seen you around. Just did CCNA Security. Started pen testing on Udemy. What do you think about third-party IT solutions like service, like service companies for experience to gain and get a job? I guess what I'm gathering from what you're saying is like working for an MSP. Those are fantastic, actually. I was advised early on in my career to work for a managed service provider, which, if you don't know what that is, they are companies who help out other companies' IT departments. So some companies just don't have the ability to hire full-time IT engineers, so they'll farm that out. Let managed service providers come in and help them with their IT infrastructure, or maybe come in and do maybe it's a special project, installing firewalls or firewall migration. I've worked for one before. Wasn't my cup of tea because it's really, really intense. It's hard work. But man, if you want to accelerate your IT career, you will get so much exposure in working for a company like that. You will learn so many things so quickly. It's like drinking from a fire hose. It's literally like that. You will excel so fast. So I would say, yeah, if you're a go-getter, man, work for an MSP. I know people who work in an MSP and they've continued to do so because they love it. They love that variety. They love the how intense it is, and they love learning. Like, man, the guy I had on my channel it's been a few months now, the packet thrower. Hi, packet thrower, if you're watching. He's getting certs like nobody's business, like every single week. He just picked up Aruba certs for no reason. They were doing a project, but it's a fun, exciting career path. It may not be your cup of tea, but do it for a year or two, and you will just be amazed. It's like, gosh, it's such a catalyst to your career. Congrats on CCNA Security, by the way. That's so cool. Nigel, thank you for the super chat, and I appreciate your words of encouragement. Thank you. Thank you, Kelvin. Here to support MoSPF, not so stubbies. I like that. Networking jokes. Yeah, and I'm here to say, I had a comment on my channel about that video, the hacker channel. They're like, what happened to you getting your CCNP, and are you still going to go down and get more Cisco certs? Yes, I am. Today I was studying for my CCNP, which I'm kind of worried about. I got the route coming up, and I'm like, I did the boson exam, and I did fail the practice exam. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I'm definitely rusty. Like, there are some minute details of IPv6 and then NAT64. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot all of that. But it's fun. It's fun. I plan to get the new CCNP. Like, the reason I'm going for the current CCNP now is because I want to be able to jump on here and talk about the old CCNP with fresh knowledge compared to the new CCNP. Because I'm going to take the new Encore. I'm going to take. I kind of have an idea. I don't know if I'm going to actually do it because I'm very ambitious with my ideas, but they don't always pan out. I want to get as many concentrations, the specializations, as I can. I don't know if it's going to pan out or not. We'll see. I think it'd be fun. I'll thank you again for the super chat, Sliha. You mean to build your own computer? I'm not sure if I understand. If you're planning on building your own computer, like, you should definitely do that. It's fun. If that's what you're saying. And I definitely need to make that video. I recorded making this machine behind me, and I got so busy I never made a video about it. But it's Kelvin. Oh, he asked if I have my hand at EVN trunks with a VRF Lite yet. Yes, I have. I've taken the route before and passed it and failed it and switched. Like, I've done all of it before. It's just I haven't touched it in so long. If you don't touch a technology for a while, you forget it. You just forget it. It evaporates. So, man, if you want to keep that networking knowledge locked down tight, set a reminder to jump in and lab it out every once in a while, because you will forget that stuff. You will. Michael Milbrett. Nice shirt. Yeah, I got this my first Cisco Live, actually, when I was exploring their DNA Center product, right when they released it. It was so fun. Actually, it wasn't when they released it. It was when they released their openness about it. Wishing you this telemetry working with the product. I have no opinion. Anyways, so that I'll answer more questions here in a bit. I just wanted to kind of just talk about my plan for the channel. My plan for this channel this year is to go down the ethical hacking path, but while learning those complementary skills that apply to so many areas in IT. And yeah, I'm still a Cisco guy through and through, but I want to expand more. I want to learn more, and I want to show what that kind of career looks like. I think that'd be so fun, and I need your help too. Like, what certification? Which of the ethical hacking certifications should I go for first? Should I try bug bounty first? Should I try doing the whole red teaming, blue teaming? Like, what do I do? Do I do the hack the box stuff? Like, what do you think I should try? What path should I go down? Let me know. Like, I'm a noob, so I'm gonna try my best to just show it. But we'll see. But I'm hoping that the content is something you'll enjoy, something that'll inspire you to help you go down this path. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna have fun with it, and I hope you guys too. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. He says, entry-level question, I guess, new to the IT industry, on security, CCNA versus CCNA cyber ops, or both? Well, the question's easy to answer now. Really easy. CCNA security is going away as of February 24th. It won't be here anymore, so that's not an option. Cyber ops will surprisingly still be here, so go for cyber ops. That's easy, right? The reason it's still going to be around, I believe, is because it satisfies some DoD requirements. But, I don't know, man. It's hard to say right now with all the new Cisco cert changes what the new tests are going to be like. Part of me is just like, forget any, like, get your CCNA, right? Like, do that. But jump right to CCNP. There's no reason to not just jump ahead. That's kind of what Cisco is designing it for now. So cyber ops could be cool. I don't know. That's maybe one test I should go down. And part of my ethical hacking journey is, cybersecurity, all those buzzwords are kind of all a little bit intertwined with each other. Hacking is definitely more in depth, but maybe I should check out the cyber ops and see if it's good. And I'll try to talk with recruiters and job people looking to hire people in the security field if they value the cyber ops. That's one thing I want to try to do this year too, is really get some hard data on what people are valuing, what they're looking for. If you're wanting to become a hacker, what are they looking for from you? If you're going to become a network engineer, what are they most valuing right now? Like, has the new Cisco cert changes changed how they view Cisco certs? Has that changed anything? I want to find that out. Got a great super chat from Aldair. How to study theory. CCNA, Juniper OS. He's got his test on February. How to study theory sucks, right? Because you can't lab it. You can kind of work through theory as you're labbing things, but theory sucks because you can't get your hands on it. I hate it. I don't hate it. I mean, but it's not the most glamorous, sexy thing you can do with your studies. What I usually do is try to mix in and make it interesting. So, like, I'll do some theory and then I try to lab it as best I can. Like, maybe, like, I'm trying to think of an example. You're learning some hardcore theory about how packets go through a network. Maybe you're learning the TCP/IP model. That's some hardcore theory. But then try to, like, packet trace is a great example of being able to go through and see how a packet goes through a network, trying to change a few things. That's what I do. If I get burnt out on theory, I move on to something else, and I just break the cycle. That's the best. Like, studying is it's difficult. It is. But the best way to study is to keep yourself interested, and that's just by making it dynamic. Do the Pomodoro method. Like, studying theory really helps if you do the Pomodoro method. So that means study for 25 minutes, focus, study 25 minutes. Don't do anything else. Don't let anybody interrupt you. But after 25 minutes, get your butt up and walk around, or reward yourself, or play Call of Duty. That's what I do. I love playing Call of Duty. Oh my gosh, I live streamed it on Twitch. I don't know if you guys saw this. I didn't advertise it too much because I was like, I don't know if I want people to see me do this. I kind of did a live study session on Twitch. Well, if you want to follow me on Twitch, by the way, it's twitch.tv/networkchuck. I'm still experimenting with it. I don't know if it's even a good idea, but I got on there and I did a 25-minute study session. I didn't teach. I just said, hey, let's turn on some music and I will study while you study. And then at the break, I answered some questions and I did some streaming of Call of Duty. It's probably stupid. I may not do it again. Let me know if you want me to do it again. You can I have the saved DVRs on Twitch, so you can let me know if it's worth it at all. I have no idea. Nigel, thank you for super chat. He's studying PowerShell. Dude, PowerShell's a solid programming language right now. I mean, can we officially call it a programming language? I mean, I know it's a scripting language. Can we call it programming? I guess we can, right? I mean, PowerShell's incredible if you're a Microsoft guy. If you're an Azure person, which Azure is amazing, right? You will never go wrong learning PowerShell if you're heavy in the Microsoft world. That's awesome. Drew Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. The CBT Nuggets site has trouble buffering videos a lot. I've tried different browsers, different networks, even Mac and Windows. Is this common? I don't believe it should be common. What I do know is CBT Nuggets has a great support team. So if you just reach out to someone, just open that chat window, they'll get you fixed up immediately. That's one thing they're incredible about. They have a whole learner. Like, CBT Nuggets is cool because not only do they have great support, but they have accountability partners who can kind of keep you going. They can set up weekly meetings, see how your progress is going. It really helps to have that accountability. So I mean, that's enough selling. Okay, but yeah, I would just reach out to them. I know that we have a great team that works on the site, and I mean, like all websites, even YouTube and Google, some things just don't work great all the time, but I'm sure if it's an ongoing thing, they can solve it for you. Make sure I'm not missing any super chats. Oh, so Leah, okay. Now I got the full picture. I just saw your comment. Build my own IT service and solution company. That is something that I've done. I tried to do. I repaired a few PCs. That's about it. And then I got distracted and didn't do anymore. It's a hard thing. It takes a lot of work. Which I'm not assuming you're not afraid of work, but it's not for me. I will not do it because I don't want to have to manage people. I don't want to have to manage customers. It's a ton of work, but it's so rewarding. I know people who have started their company from the ground up, and it's amazing, and they're loving it. One channel I would recommend. It's Lawrence IT Systems. If someone can link it for me, Lawrence IT Systems. He has a great YouTube channel, and he has an IT service provider company where he just makes YouTube videos so much about it. It's such a cool platform he has. So if you want to know more about that business, he talks about it so much. It's great. And I've worked for companies that have kind of a smaller shop like that. So it's definitely worth it, but man, it's stressful. That kind of bleeds into the whole right to repair thing. I know people are getting upset that CompTIA is kind of going against the right to repair. I don't have the official information on that, and I know people are like, Chuck, why are you still advocating we get CompTIA certs? They're saying that we don't have the right to repair. I'm not well versed on the issue, so I'm asking you guys, what do you think about it? From what I gather, they just don't think that we should be able to buy a computer and legally repair it ourselves. We'd have to take it to the manufacturer, or we can't take it to third-party companies anymore. I definitely think that's a bad thing. That if we couldn't do that, that'd be so dumb. So I know great people out there like Louis Rossman are actually speaking in front of. I don't know who they're speaking in front of, but they're advocating for us. And I'm definitely a believer in being able to repair your own stuff, being able to figure out your own things, open source. Definitely an advocate of that. So I'm hoping that CompTIA kind of moves in the right direction. which is odd because they have the A+ certification, which is all about repairing computers. Very confusing. I don't know why they're doing that, and we'll see how it evolves. I don't know. Someone maybe I know there's videos out there that are more well versed in this. I just want to kind of touch on that. The reason I haven't talked about it is because I haven't looked into it too much. But I'll reach out to CompTIA and see what they say. I want to believe that people have the best intentions, but you never know. You never know. Twitch link, I'm just going to paste it here or type it in. Twitch.tv/network Chuck. Don't get excited. Do not get excited. It's not anything great right now. Question for you. What would you want to see on Twitch? YouTube, I want to keep like kind of stuff like this where we get to chat one-on-one, like or one on 320. And then also like producing some great content. I want to have like my curated, amazing content on here. Twitch, I kind of want to just stream whatever, experiment. Let's study CCNP for 2 hours, and maybe I'll come in and talk about routing for some reason or OSPF. If you just want to be able to like come in and like hang out, that's cool. I can do that. If you think that's stupid and like don't do that, I won't do it because I don't want to waste my time or almost spilled my coffee. I don't want to waste my time or yours. Whoa, who's spamming? Let me fix that, dude. I want to put you in timeout because you'd be crazy. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge gamer. I mean, I am. I'm old. I feel like a 30-year-old doesn't have the reflexes as like a younger person. So like I'm not that great, but I was doing pretty good. I have to admit, I got first a few times in CCNP Call of Duty, CCNP on the brain. Casper, thank you for the super chat. What are your first steps to become an ethical hacker? Are you going for a specific cert, or are you going to just do things like hack the box, or Vulnhub? I've heard of Hack the Box, don't know what Vulnhub is. So I'll tell you my strategy right now. My first strategy is to become super, super familiar and in love with Linux. I want to get my Linux Plus. I want to teach Linux on the channel. At the same time, I'm going to kind of do what you said. I'm just going to tinker with a few things. I'll look at Hack the Box, see what it is, see what I need to actually become better at that, and then I'll add those skill sets. But for sure, it's going to be Linux first. I'm still always kind of tinkering with Python, and I definitely want to try. What was the other thing I wanted to try? I just forgot. It escaped my brain. I'm getting tired. But yeah, that's kind of my. I'll be doing stuff with like a Raspberry Pis, doing some cool attacks like that. Just some, I guess you would call them entry-level attacks, and some people might call them script kiddie attacks. But those attacks are great because they teach you about security. They teach you about what you can attack. Yes, you're using other people's tools. Okay, that's fine. No, you're not creating your own scripts. No, you're not like a Python expert, but you're learning, and I'll never discourage that. So I hate, I'm on a soapbox here. I hate the term script kiddie because I know there's people who like take advantage of it, but I think people who are just trying to learn and using those tools like Kali Linux and all the suite of tools, and even kids who are like trying to DDoS each other, like what, you're learning IT, you're learning security. As long as you dive deep into the protocols and figure out what's going on, I think that's great. So I want to show more of that, do more tutorials like that, and of course, if you guys tell me don't do that anymore, I won't. But if you like it, I'll keep doing more of it. So that's my path, and I'll try to be better at documenting what steps I'm taking. But for sure, Linux is what I'm doing first, just because I'm going for skills that aren't just hacking focused, because I want to be able to spread the love, so to say. I want to be able to say, hey, network engineers, if you want to learn some Linux, come watch some things here. System engineers, AWS people, Azure, like all these people. Oh my gosh, I almost spilled my coffee for real that time. Everyone come over here. Oh, by the way, I like my mug. I got this from Peter McKinnon's coffee shop in San Diego. What's the place called again? It's called, I'm sure you guys know. It's the Owl place, One of my favorite coffee shops in San Diego. And I was hoping I run into him there. He wasn't there. Hope I answered your question, by the way. And thank you for the super chat, Casper. Cool name. James Bond. Great question. Do you think we need to know a lot of networking before hacking? Everyone I talk to says yes, to a point. And I'm trying to be delicate with this because some hacking videos I've seen from hacking people, or hackers that are great, when they talk about networking, you can kind of tell that they don't know a lot about networking. They know enough to do what they're doing, but they don't know a lot about networking. Maybe that's because they don't come from a networking background, which is also, again, something else I want to explore. When you have a specialty, when you are in depth into networking, and if you move into hacking, does that make you more powerful? Does that make you have a kind of a superpower when you move into that realm because you know those protocols really deep? You know how they work. I'm interested to see how that works out. Losing my voice here. So I would say yes. Yes. The first thing I'm tackling with this channel and the kind of attacks I'm going to demonstrate will be networking type attacks. You can do all kinds of crazy things. And as I progress, I'll see what else I can do. But yeah, networking for sure, because that's one of the biggest vulnerabilities out there is people leaving ports exposed, or gosh, just so many things. 30 is old, FML. No, 30 is not old, but it is old for gaming, I would say. You don't see too many championship 30-year-old gamers right now, I don't think. If there were, I'd be trying, because I know I'm not that good. I am going to try and get my kids to play video games. Like, I would love for them to be great at video games. I think it's the future. I'm all Gary Vee with that kind of stuff, man. Killer Mike said, I can't buy a Raspberry Pi because I'm broke. Any free ideas? Yeah, you can, VPSs. Clouds, like a VPS is a virtual private server. It's kind of like getting hosting space for your website, but you can like get a whole server that you can just play on. I've done it before. Doing the cloud, Azure, AWS. You can get access to Linux boxes like that. Ton of options out there. I know this is probably not the best option if you're hurting for money, but CBT Nuggets, we have labs available for pretty much every course we make. When I did my automation course in CCNA, I provided a lab where you can access Linux, you can access Python stuff, and you can access it anytime you want, and just come in and be able to play in an environment. As I'm creating more stuff, specifically for CBT Nuggets, I'll have labs you can use. So if that becomes options for you, go for it. And also VirtualBox, yeah, InfoSec Pat. Hey, InfoSec Pat. Welcome. I didn't know you were here. I know InfoSec Pat, dude. He's security focused, right? Like you got your CCNP Security. You're going for some Palo Alto stuff this year, like your PCNSE. Is that what it's called? Yeah, VirtualBox is a great option. Linux, it's free. That's what's great about Linux. Getting VirtualBox and being able to run Linux virtual machines, which I'll do some demos on that. Of course, the Windows subsystem for Linux. Or for Windows. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff out there. IPv0. Ansible versus Nornier. Ansible, I would say, is probably the better option right now. Just because so many people use it, and there's so... it's, I guess more documented right now. You're going to have an easier time, a better time with network automation, with things that are more documented and have been around for a while. Nornier, I'm going to be honest, I've not played with a ton. However... I've heard great things, especially from like a lot of the DevNet folks. They love Nornier. Zaf says, is it still possible to study for CCNA before February 24th? It is if you have a ton of knowledge coming in. If you're starting from scratch, I would say at this point, no, just wait. I don't want to see you stressed out and wasting your money. And I want to, like, that's the thing with CCNA. You need to fall in love with it. You want it to be a good experience. You want to have fun because it's one of the, for a lot of people it's their first introduction into to networking, and it should be a beautiful experience. It shouldn't be rough. It shouldn't be stressful. It should be nice. And I would say wait because you want to take your time with it. You don't want to be stressed out. By the way, if you haven't already subscribed, if you haven't already liked this video, go ahead and do that. I got a cool thing right here. Anyways. Yeah, just do that. Robert Chan asks, how's my preparation for the CCNP route and switch? It's going pretty good. I'm doing route first. I got my test on February 6th, and I'm not ready, but I am surprised at how much I remembered. I definitely am rusty on so many things, but I'm gonna get there. I hope. If I go in there and I fail it, I'm not going to be too bummed. I won't, because at least I'm getting a last look at the exam before it changes. And then the new exam I'm going to take. I'm going to take the Encore. So I see this as just a chance to do a little bit of research and see what get my best look at the exam before it goes away. Because I've already taken it, at least versions of it, 3 times, passed it 1 time. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping. I hope I do well. We'll see. I'm not giving myself a lot of time, but I hope I do well. CCIE Security and Service Provider from InfoSec Pat. That's a hefty goal. I can't see myself doing CCIE. I've seen, like, if you watched, I'm spacing on names like crazy tonight. I don't know what it is. Gosh, what's that guy? Oh, Show IP Interface Brief, who just finished the CCIE after 4 attempts, which is so incredibly, like, it's hard. It's a hard thing. Like, you have to pretty much devote your life to that. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet. Also, because it kind of pigeonholes me to what I can do on this channel. I want to be able to create as many cool things for you guys, and CCIE, that's a beast. That takes a lot of stuff. CISSP in 2 weeks. Pretty nervous. That's going to be a fun one. I don't know if it's fun or not. I think, isn't CISSP kind of like a lot of, like, theory? I think it is. I might try that one too. It's part of the whole suite, right? Oh, Parrot OS. I want to try Parrot OS, Kali OS. Like, what Linux OSs can you use? I'll do that. I'll talk about all that stuff. That's what's cool about the hacking realm. There's so many things to talk about, and I'm going to have fun with it. Jeremy Morris asks, can you do AWS Cloud Architect Associate without CCNA? Sure. I'm sure there's a ton of people who come into AWS and do not have any networking experience. There may be Microsoft people, maybe system admins. You're going to need to know networking. Like, you have to know subnetting and basic networking knowledge, but you don't need CCNA. Will it help you? Yeah, it's going to help you. My brother passed his AWS certification, and it definitely helped him, having a CCNA before. Kevin, thank you for the super chat. If you have a specific question, I'll try to find it as a post in here. Crypto Joe Invest says, what video can you direct me to if I'm kind of a noob to networking? I have some great stuff on here. I haven't taught like a ton of like beginner and networking stuff just yet. But go to CBT Nuggets, or the YouTube channel has a ton of stuff on there. And I mean, YouTube is your friend. YouTube has so much stuff available. That's what I would say. And of course, if you really want to get into to networking and learn the basics to the more advanced topics, get yourself signed up for CBT Nuggets. You'll have a good time, I promise. Also, Professor Messer's great too, not going to lie. Arch is a beast. It took me a week to install. I know that Arch is a thing that needs to happen for me for Linux, and I hear it's a great thing to do if you want to learn. So I'll see how it goes. It's gonna be fun. Well, I told my wife I would keep this brief tonight because it's kind of a random live stream. Just want to kind of come in and fill you in on what I'm thinking about the like. I wanted you guys to make sure, I want to make sure that you guys knew that I wasn't just like losing it and trying to pander out to the hacking crowd. No, it's something I've always been interested in, and I now can go down that path, and I want to show you what it's like. And also, I'm not gonna steer away from the good stuff, the CCNP, the Cisco networking, the cloud, network automation. I mean, all those skills you learn with hacking can apply to all of that. So I'm sticking with everything. That's the short answer to my long explanation there. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. If there's people you want me to talk to, let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love doing this. Any specific questions that you want to have answered, I highly encourage you to go to my Discord, networkchuck.com/Discord. I will paste that in right now. I try, which I'm really bad at, hanging out in there a lot. Oh, quick super chat from Kevin. Do you recommend going to college like WGU to become a network engineer or get certificates? Oh boy, I know. Let's. This question's hard to answer because it depends on where you are. Having a degree is very, very good in some areas. Other countries, other parts of the U.S. maybe, but in general, if you're in the U.S. and you're in you're a good city with a lot of IT jobs, so like a city like Dallas, that has a lot of IT jobs available, I would say skip the degree because that's what I did. That's what my brother did when I told him to do that. Go for certifications and start getting experience. I think skipping college, spending all that money on college let's be honest. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think learning on your own, especially doing the self-paced learning programs like CBT Nuggets and other training providers, that training, that knowledge, and the way it's presented is way, way better than anything you can get from college. Now, I understand going to a physical brick and mortar building and getting to touch devices and having a teacher walk you through it and say, don't do that, idiot, that's wrong. That's helpful. But as far as like online programs, I'll tell you the truth. I did WGU for a little bit. I never finished it. I realized real quickly I did not need a degree. But as I was going through it, part of it was I got my Security Plus certification. You want to take a wild guess of what the training was? They had used CBT Nuggets training as part of the curriculum. So I was watching Keith Barker going for my WGU degree. So I could have just went, sorry, WGU, I'm not going to do that. Paid $59 a month with CBT Nuggets, which is a fraction of the cost, and gotten a ton of excellent training. I think soapbox, man. I think colleges and universities are a thing of the past for IT, at least for the U.S. Now, degrees are valuable for a lot of areas and a lot of other specialties. I'm not going to go to a doctor that doesn't have a degree. Lawyers. I mean, there's so many things, but like IT specifically and network engineering specifically, you don't need it. You don't. And that's strictly speaking for the U.S. I know other areas are different. So again, short answer to my long explanation. It depends on where you are. It depends on what your values are. If you want to become a manager someday, if you want to manage a team, having a degree will definitely help. But if your goal right now is just to get into IT and not spend a ton of money and also maximize your time, dude, skip college. Skip it. That's what I would advise. I'm very passionate about that. That's all I got. So this year, I'm going to try. I want to try to become an ethical hacker. I'm going to document the process. I'm going to study like a madman and have fun and produce more content than I've ever produced before on this channel. I'm going to do it. Hold me to it. Don't let me not do it. It's going to be awesome. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification thing so you can know when I post stuff and when I go live so you can be here. And also, if you haven't already entered that contest to win the Linux Plus training from CompTIA and a voucher, which is like altogether like worth $800, my last video, go enter that contest. I'm also posting a video this weekend talking about Ubiquity, Unify, and I'm giving away some stuff there too, so be ready for that. Whew, I'm done. It's been great, guys. I'll see you very soon. Monday I'm going live, and that's about it. Catch you guys later.